Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday afternoon at 10 minutes to 5 approximately. This is the dessert for the Alpe Adria International Motorcycle Championship. We decided to broadcast the Supermono, the European Supermono Cup to you as well as a bit of a farewell to season 2019. We'll be welcoming the prototype class single cylinder machines back again onto the grid. And in the last race we have 3 races here in Most. Race number 7 crowned Jerry van der Bunt from the Netherlands with the German-based Raha team with 163 points in total, way ahead of Josef Frauenschuh from Austria, and that was enough to clinch the title and bring it to the Netherlands. Although he lives in Austria nowadays and works in Austria nowadays, has a girlfriend there as well, studying there. I hope to get his PhD soonly, working for the KTM factory, so well on him. He will be departing from pole position. Next to him, well, we see the track temperature, well, still pretty much at a 19 degrees Celsius, which is a lot better than earlier this morning, which is about 12 degrees, while we're looking at the number 14, which is Jay Beller, is our dear friend from the UK, from Wales, Jay Bellers-Smith. And he is being backed up by the Smith brothers, and they will be called the Smith brothers because it's a twin. And the gentlemen are preparing this homemade chassis with a KTM machine. There he is, way over 6 feet tall, and the chassis is actually a 250 frame. So they had to modify the seat, and that's the typical part of the prototype kind of class, which this is. You can choose your frame, you can build your frame, you can either purchase a frame from a frame builder, anyone from Sealy to Spondon to you never name it. We've got some new chassis manufacturers coming up as well. If I talk about the Netherlands, we're talking about, of course, Nico Bakker. He used to be well known for his chassis factory and chassis making, and now one of his apprentices, Brian, has built the chassis factory, still building race frames for exotic bikes such as these. The number 34 there on your grid, Mr. Emilio Lazzarini, and as you guessed, he's Italian, also inspired by the Supermono racing GP250s, but also there. And there is the number 21 on his pole position there. It's Jerry van der Bunt, and he chose the smaller engine, the 450 Rotax engine, and that's one of the rules within the Supermono category. It's a prototype class, but you're able to choose a capacity up to 250, either between the 250 and 500 cubic centimeters, or anything up to 800. And everyone would say, "Oh, let's go for the big one," but there's a weight restriction to it. So the lighter the engine, the lighter the minimal weight of the bike should be. And for the smaller gentlemen, such as Jerry van der Bunt, and also the gentleman in third place, Johan Karl from Germany, they took either a 125 base type of chassis with a 450 cc single cylinder 4-stroke engine. These are all 4 strokes, of course, and then you are more nimble, light-weighted, getting out of the corner, better access and so forth. So we'll have a warm-up lap to go, and people get into the spots. Don't wait too long. I got the show on the rope. Got another 10 laps to do. We're missing a few people here, especially the last seat on the 3rd row. That should actually be Nico Kerrer with the Scorpion, who had some technical problems. Emilio Lazzarini next to his inspirer Enrico Cairo. He was the one who actually attracted him to the Supermonos, inspired him to do so, and now the both of them here in the 2nd row of the grid, which is good. Number 18 in the 3rd row, if you can see it for the audience, it's maybe difficult to see here on the footage, is the number 18, and that's a local hero. The whole family is building those bikes, and we're talking about Libor Kameneci. And he's been around a while with the whole family building the Mali Ara chassis. Everything is homemade, so the whole family is backing it up. Sometimes they spend the whole weekend just trying to get the bike running, and sometimes it goes like an idiot. But that's the fun part also of the European Supermono category. It's a prototype. You can build them yourself. You can also purchase them. Then you maybe go to a company such as Kramer Motorcycles. They build you the whole package if you would like to participate in this particular class. The reason is, why are we waiting right now? That's the question. Everyone into the spot, and the light at the end of the pit lane is red already for a long time. Maybe somebody's stranded, but we'll have to go for the warm-up lap. There we go. Everyone to the side, warm-up lap. Means that we go for another 10 rounds. Championship decided. Trial start for our friend Jay Beller-Smith. Medical car behind. And it is the number 25. Oh, a bad fortune for our American guest. He is the only one from the US who came over to Munich, flown in from Boston to get his Kramer motorcycle Evo 2 and had some difficulties the whole weekend already. Had a crash in race 1, not by his own fault, but just being pushed out, and now the bike doesn't start. Bit of bad luck if you come all the way from the US to participate within the European Championship. And he was having so much fun actually being here in the Czech Republic, here on the track of Most. And normally, has already had, he actually had the land speed record for 250cc two-stroke engines for a while. And we've got another gentleman here walking on the grid while the number 50. Oh, that's bad news for our youngster. We're looking at the number 54, and. Yeah, he's got a Turkish passport, but he speaks perfectly Dutch because he's from the Netherlands. And he was also still in quite a good contention. We're talking about Kalip Satiki, a young talent, only 14 years of age, and was also scouted for the Red Bull Rookies and for the Asian Talent Cup simultaneously. And that's the advantage of living in Turkey, because it's part of Asia as well. It's on the border of it. So bad luck for Kalip. He had some problems with arm pump in race number 2. Only 14 years of age. Chose with his team this championship because it's a good learning ground. Bikes are not really that aggressive, but enough powerful, and of course prototype bikes. So slick tires, suspension, everything is possible as long as you stay within the rules. Regarding the cubic inches of the cylinder, cubic cc's, up to 800 one-cylinder machines. And there he comes, Jerry van der Bunt. Hopefully everyone will be able to get into that slot straight away, not having to wait too long. And the small Jerry van der Bunt and the tall Jay Beller-Smith next to one another. Somebody started, and if that's the Evo, no, that's Kalip starting from pit lane. Bill's not able to start the Kramer yet. They become an etchy in place. We're still, Joseph Frauenschuh, the number 1 plate from Austria, well known, renowned KTM tuner. Johan Karl coming to the grid for a 3rd slot. Waiting again for everyone to put their positions. Yeah, green flags to the side. Waiting for the lights to go off. And we're on our way. Good start for Jay. Good Jerry van der Bunt, of course, only 450cc. The big bikes have got the torque, but he's got the weight advantage. Johan Karl again, like the earlier today, a brilliant start getting into the first corner. Johan Karl, now it's Jerry van der Bunt clipping the nose. Jay getting swamped there in the second corner. It's a brilliant start again for Joseph Frauenschuh as well. Absolutely brilliantly done in those first few corners. But it is Frauenschuh now to the 2nd position. Jerry van der Bunt down the road. Johan Karl 3rd. Jay is in 4th position. But Emilio Lazzarini, I think, close behind. It's the 34. Yes, Emilio there. Born 1983, if I remember well. Oh, overtaken almost on the outside. Close contact there, different lines. And then we're talking about the situation between Nico Kerrer and number 6020, who had some problems getting on over the line there as well. Jay, tall guy, actually had to work to get the pace done, but Jerry van der Bunt is already clearing off in the distance. Obviously got the rhythm, got the pace. Immaculately prepared bike, which is what you need, of course, and able to finish all those races. And there's that fight between the old man, as he says himself, which he's not, and Johan Karl. The two know one another very well. You see the difference in posture, you see the difference in bike. knee slider there, sparks flying around. Is the knee slider of Joseph Frauenschuh is putting on the big show. Wonderful exit there, Johan Karl with the smaller KDM engine in it, taking difficulty in a 54.044 for Jerry van der Bunt. Joseph Frauenschuh had the fastest lap set in race 1 during the last lap. Now he's way in front in the position where he is also in the championship. 2 second places already for our British guest from Wales, and is happy to be here. Wasn't any trouble by the wet circumstances here in Friday, but now picking up the pace. Difficulty to get it going, but now in pursuit of Johan Karl, and that's the 3rd place after 2 second places. Would love to repeat that. Close by. Emilio Lazzarini in 5th position, Daniel Scagnetti in the 6th position, Enrico Cairo with the Husqvarna. Used to be Swedish, now as a part of KDM. Been in the hands of the BMW's factory as well. So we got the Rotex, KDM, the Husqvarna of Enrique, then Libor Kameneci with the Maliara, which is ARA gearboxes, Czechian brand for gearboxes. Still to be found if you got one. Be careful with it. Brilliant piece of engineering. Jerry van der Bunt. Way ahead, way down the order with Robert Michel. Let's see if we can find... Bill is still being able to have departed. Bill Gills, we talked all the way from the US. Was able to get that Kramer KDM started. It's got a starter motor, as I've seen, which is quite unique for a racing bike anyway. So it should be able to start quite easily. Next outing, Joseph Frauenschuh of 50 point. Well, my timekeeping is a bit down the road. 50.5 against the 50.3 of Johan Karl and the 50.4 for J. Bella Smith. Scagnetti 51. 230. And where is our little Turkish friend Caleb Satiki? In the 11th position, starting out of the pit lane already. Doing 154 now. Heading his eyes set at a low 150. Been able to do 52 and a 51 in the previous races. It's good to see that everyone's out on track with another 7.5 laps to go. So European Supermono been raced since 1996. Different countries have been dominating. We had quite huge contingents from the UK for a while. They're not there anymore, and so we're happy to say Jay back here with us. And you see the sparks flying, especially when it's a bit darker. I do think it's officially not allowed to have them because you're distracted for your rear viewers, but he thinks it's the last race and he just did it. So do see where he's going while the light is decreasing quite rapidly here at late Sunday afternoon. Joseph Frauenschuh, it is J. Bella Smith who has been able to overtake Johan Karl. Having, he's got the nickname Bonsai. He's not very tall, but he's a well-grown bonsai tree, so that's his nickname. J. Bella Smith now in pursuit, while we look again at Jerry van der Bunt. Dark visor still mounted onto his helmet. Should be okay. Whoa, a bit wide. And he's on the rear wheel. 32 years of age, J. Bella Smith out of Wales. But needed the nap, he said, after this morning's race. And obviously he had one, because he's wide awake again. Now in hot pursuit for the second position on track again, because he already was able to finish second twice already. But it's not easy beating Joseph Frauenschuh. He's exemplary for the Supermono culture as well, as you can call it. It's a lively paddock with friends amongst one another, helping one another out. But once the red light goes out, it is competition time. Then they're on track. So anyone who's got a project in the barn which might suit these regulations, please be able to join us in the Supermono Championship. Jay closing in again, just thinking where he should be able to pass him. 780 cc's. Some of these Supermonos were actually, there he is, going for the inside line, late braking, and it is Joseph Frauenschuh who thinks better, overtaking the undercut, now close in there. Beautiful fight, the experienced Austrian is teaching him a lesson. You want to brake late, my friend, I'll do the undercut. That's how it's done. Wonderful demonstration from Joseph Frauenschuh. I think it was Sjoerd van Buiten, Dutchman, who actually took a Ducati to V2, of course, and then immobilized one of the pistons, so running on only one cylinder was even to get about 100 brake horsepower out of those machines. And then you're still within limits. It's still one cylinder operated, though it used to be a two-cylinder when it came out of the factory. Another attempt from Jay. Well, he has seen how clever Joseph Frauenschuh is, so he has to really think carefully where to overtake him. Even our German 250cc queen of racing, Katja Punsken, has actually also participated in this championship and was crowned. So a huge variety, Dutchmen, Germans, Japanese people, quite a few from the UK. Another attempt here, a bit early on before the bridge. And now it's the double chicane situation. Whoa, taking the tiny little bit by, tied the line for Joseph Frauenschuh, taking enough speed there. These sliders creating the sparks, and these are not the footsteps. Looking further down the field, it's Johan Carl behind then. Daniel Scagnetti for Emilio Lazzarini. Two Italians having a fight together for Enrico. Three Italians actually, with Enrico Cairo close behind, and the Czech entry of the Mali Lava in the hands of Liber Kameneci. And Caleb Satiki has been able to improve himself to the 9th position. Robert Michel, the only sole representative from France in this championship, in 10th position. Oh, and the fight is on again. Jay Bella-Smith and Joseph Frauenschuh still having it on. The wily old fox, I've called him before, and I have to be careful. He's fit enough, but it's a nice battle. All behind the back of Jerry van der Bunt, who is 12.5 seconds up the road. Still 4.5 laps to go in this third race of the weekend. Fight for the third place in the championship. Could go to Scagnetti, or it could go to Johan Carl. And as we look right now to the standing, it probably should go to the German, who's in the 4th position as we speak. And now it looks like Jay Bella-Smith has pulled a few bike lengths away from Joseph Frauenschuh, but it's never over until he sees the black and white. Although Jay is not a regular contender within the championship. It's also a matter of honor, of course. Long weekend. Yo, there is an orange and yellow flag being shown there on the straight. That means there is a slippery patch somewhere. Somebody's either losing oil or something else happening here outside, which I'm not aware of. Late braking again, and Johan Carl hasn't given up on that fight. He's pretty much close by. Something is happening on track. They're closing in. And do not forget Daniel Scagnetti, also the number 35, not far behind. Evenly matched, all these bikes. We'll take our dear friend Jerry van der Bunt out of the equation. But it's Johan Carl trying to put a Frauenschuh to Frauenschuh, as they say. Because he's been nicked out of his podium by Joseph earlier on today, so he's probably going to repay the compliment, or at least he's going to try it. He said, no, he never gives up. Now Johan Karl is trying to repay that compliment. Huge difference in speed, as we saw here, where when Franco Wendland was lapped, he's pretty much upright and of course powerful enough, the bike, but then you see the difference in speed clearly, a difference in riding styles there. J. Bella Smith was able to pass him swiftly enough. Frauenschuh not doing much to pursue him, but Johan Karl is in pursuit. Last time around 49 and 50. So Johan had definitely had a bit more trouble passing the back marker, and is actually now we're under threat of Daniel Scagnetti. Frauenschuh pushing wide, using every inch of the tarmac. Difference in riding style, we see the very neat riding style of Johan Karl, keeping the knees to the tank. Ducking beneath, it's Enrique Cairo and Caleb. Caleb Sadiki now into 7th position, and look at his lap times, 52. Hopefully still enough adrenaline in the youngster to bring him to the finish. He will still have 2 outings to go this season. For most of it is the last race of the season, and he'll be going to the Red Bull Rookies outing in a fortnight, and then all the way to the Asian Talent Cup. So he's still got something to look forward to. There he is, our leader of the race. We almost forgot him, but way down the road, for 15.45 seconds, it is the lead of Jerry van der Bunt with the Raha backed up Rotex machine. And yeah, we had a short interview with Jerry earlier on this weekend, and there he told you, of course, his technical background, working now for the KTM factory, and has been a part of the Ten Kate squad in New Leusden, of course known for the World Superbikes, as a data engineer, and of course it helps, you know, to be able to translate it into these prototype machines. But Joseph Frauenschuh is clawing back rapidly. Where did this come from? Almost outbreaks himself, and he has really pushed to the limit. J. Bella Smith last time around, a 48.772, a 48.04, 7 points of a second quicker in this lap, and they're both pushing it to the limit now to the 48s, improving. So there is a pit board out, and Joseph Frauenschuh thought a surprise attack would do it, but J. Bella Smith was also pushing further away with another 2 laps to go. Never count them out. It is. We've seen him around the various tracks over Europe now. They've been a guest on the British Superbikes. They have raced in all sorts of tracks with the Supermono all together. And now he's still there. The number 1 plate of Joseph Frauenschuh started preparing engines for the MX, where of course KTM got their reputation, then went to the Dakar, where they're almost unbeatable. And now in racing, of course, KTM is also a force to be reckoned with in Moto3, Moto2, also in the MotoGP. And it is Jerry van der Bunt who goes into the last lap. Another 4,212 meters to go for the Dutchman. And then we'll concentrate on that fight for 2nd position, whether is it Joseph Frauenschuh or is it J. Bella Smith who's going to take the honors for 2nd position. There they are, Jay Bellers, Joseph Frauenschuh, difference on start-finish line, 0.38 of a second. Let's go to that fight and see what's going on there. Oh, there he is, already tried to launch an assault here in the second corner. Jay Bellers, Smith was defending well, but it is Frauenschuh pushing and pushing again. There he goes for the inside line. Oh, late braking, there's a small gap, compromising the exit speed on the chicane. It's a very tall Englishman, so a lot of knees, a lot of limbs sticking out of that very tiny little diminished 250 frame. He's having difficulties folding himself behind the bubble. Joseph Frauenschuh is more of the regular size, at least the bike is. Oh, there he goes, back marker, not a problem. And let's stay with the attack. There he goes again, late on the brakes. But it is Jay Bellers-Smith who closes the door, not impressed by the Austrian. Where are they? Last two corners. Back markers we are looking for. Probably Jerry van der Bunt taking black and white here on start-finish line. Another victory under his belt, the number 21. And let's see if we can go back to that scrap for second position, because Joseph Frauenschuh always got something down his sleeves. Let's have a look what it's going to be. We're watching the horizon. There they are. Jay Bellers-Smith just done enough to clinch the second position once again. Third time in a row. Bringing some prizes to the UK. As long as they can enter before the Brexit. It is Joseph Frauenschuh in third position. Daniel Scagnetti was able to actually get in front of Johan Karl. Johan Karl, and that's due to his own merit with a 48.446 personal best lap in the last lap by Daniel Scagnetti, and therefore securing his third place in the championship. Because with that one is a 16 points extra. That brings him to 100 and it's 98. And then it's a 30. No, it is actually still Johan Karl, even with the fifth position. He'll get another 11 points, and they're dead equal. 99 points for the both of them, so they're dead equal on 99 points if I do my maths well. So that's to be decided probably on rostrum positions. And let's see, 1, 2, 3 for Daniel Scagnetti, and we got Johan Karl. Now, I'll leave it up to the organization because I haven't got all the figures here. Nevertheless, an exciting race, which means that we are at the end of our show, and that we as Lutech Racing want to thank you for your attention, and you as viewers, thank you for having us. Hope you enjoyed the footages of the Alpe Adria International Motorcycle Championship over the season 2019. We hope to be back next year and continue this broadcast through YouTube, and hopefully have some extra additional classes such as the Supermono to just put a little bit of spice here and there and have some dessert as we had right now at the end of a long Sunday, race day number 2, last day of the season 2019. On behalf of the organizations and whole film crew, everyone participating within the Lutech Racing crew, all the officials, thank you very much for being with us. And I'm saying goodbye from the tower here in the track of Most. We're going to pack up. Have a safe trip home for everyone here on track, and hopefully see you next year. My name is Martin van Ellinkhuizen from the Netherlands, and hope to hear and see you again here on YouTube.